Well, let's now focus on this programme, which is the Hospice Neighbours programme. What is it?
The Hospice Neighbours are a network of volunteers that go in and visit end-of-life people, and they're going in to be, whether they're going in for companionship, they're going in to befriend them, whether they're going in to, sometimes it could be just to read to somebody that can't read for themselves, but it's literally about focusing on the individual's interests prior to the illness.
Okay.
And giving them something.
So the life before life changes.
Yeah, and actually trying to help them live the bit of life they've got, as well as focusing on the end of life.
Well, we've got a clip from someone who is benefiting from this at the moment. This is Eric, and then we'll talk to the person who's giving Eric exactly what you just described here. But firstly, the words of Eric.
How valuable I find Hazel, my hospice visitor. I'm 86. I live alone because my wife died in an accident a couple of years ago. I'm in the shadow of cancer, and I had a serious accident just a few weeks ago where I fell and broke my neck. And I'm doing okay at home. But Hazel is such a blessing to me, giving me links with the outside world and giving me comfort.
Well, that's Eric talking about Hazel. Here's Hazel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Why do you do this?
I think I wanted to do some sort of voluntary position, and I started to get interested in end-of-life care. I work, I'm busy, I've got lots going on, and I knew that I couldn't do a voluntary role that had set shifts and hours. So I went onto the website with St Peter's Hospice and heard about this scheme, actually I was like, that's perfect, because you work out between your neighbour and you what time and where you and when you can go in.
I mean, when we say neighbour, we don't mean next door, do we?
So you get allocated someone who lives close to you.
Yeah.
And so between you and that individual, you can work out when you can go in. And it's been a really lovely thing to do, really. It's given me a lot back.
I can see that by your face. But I want to come back to my question. Why do you do it? Because you gave all the reasons why you probably couldn't or shouldn't do it. I'm busy, I've got lots going on. Those were your words.
Yeah.
Why do you do it? Why did you feel that you needed, for you, to give something back?
Yeah, I wonder, it's probably to do with my past, and I lost my parents quite suddenly, 18 and 20 years ago. And I feel that I'm very passionate about support for people, either where it be end of life or afterwards. And when I lost them, I felt like there was a way to grieve, and that actually wasn't very helpful. And for me, I was very brave. Everyone told me how brave I was, and I just carried on, and I just did what I needed to do. And
so you didn't.
But no one really talked.
Right. So and I think this is something that is actually to be proud of.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who volunteer for very personal reasons, and I don't want to probe too personally into yours, but it is transactional. It does help. What you've gone through will help others. So that what you're talking about there is maybe this is helping deal with grief.
Yeah, I think so. And being able to have the conversations with someone, and these are tender conversations, it's not easy.
Conversations you didn't have with your parents, maybe.
No, and conversations that I think afterwards, people, it's hard to know what to say, isn't it? And I think being in this world and opening yourself up to end of life can actually allow not only that individual hopefully to live fully, but for yourself to live fully. That reminder that we will all die is very difficult, but also really real, and it's the only kind of truth that we all have.
It is a brutal truth, but it is a truth. None of us are getting out of here alive. We're just not.
No.
And it doesn't matter how much expensive cream you buy from TikTok and put on your face. You are not you're not bathing in a flame. But it's about what we do while we're here.
Yeah.
And when we get to the end, the romance of going to sleep one night and not waking up the next morning, and then the reality. Tell me about Eric, because Eric was glowing about you Tell me about Eric. What have you learned from being his hospice neighbour?
I've learned so much. I've learned so much from him because he's a exceedingly wise individual who's had an incredibly rich and valuable life with so many beautiful, I call them his treasures, around his house. He's told me the stories about the travelling he's done, about the life that he's led, and then also the conversations that are difficult, the conversations about what might come, and then the practicalities, like what practical help do we need to set up. And all of that isn't necessarily about, the disease, the medical condition. It's actually about him as an individual, his dignity, what he needs and what is important for him, and that humanity, that person. And obviously all the medical models really important, but I do believe that we focus too much on that at end of life, and we forget that there's a human, an individual
So
there.
you're reminding Eric that he's Eric?
For sure, yeah.
Because you were right, sorry to interrupt you, but you were right. I think this is a really important point of this, which I think we're getting beautifully explained by Hazel, is that, and I've witnessed this myself in my own family, that when you are ill and at the end of life, you just become about the next pills you're going to take.
Yeah.
You've got your blister pack there, and you've got your mornings, your lunchtimes and your afternoons, and you talk about, everyone's banging on at you about nutrition and mobility aids and goodness knows what else. So you become all about the illness. You almost forget who you are. You're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're doing with Eric, is it?
No, and I feel having that ability to just be with an individual as well, because this is the ultimate problem you cannot fix. So you're not there always to necessarily go, oh, I'll make this right. Sometimes it is just about your presence, to be there with that individual and to listen and to
Maybe it's about making it okay.
It's sometimes it's not okay though, and that's okay as well.
But one of the guiding principles of this programme is it's okay not to be okay.
It's not necessarily pretty.
No.
It's not necessarily easy. It's really hard. And I'm sure there's lots of people listening that have had people at end of life, and it's been really, really difficult. And it's about being able to hopefully sit with that, in that discomfort, without the need to try and fix or change it.
And I think the important thing, as I know from my own family, we're facing this again right now, and it can happen like that, and then you're facing it. And it's every because every life is different, every circumstance is different. But it can happen very quickly, and it's about having that support, which St Peter's Hospice does. Before I finish, I want to ask two more questions. When you leave Eric, you know you're going to go back until the inevitable happens. How do you feel? Does it depend on the visit?
Maybe a little, for sure. I think as with everyone, we don't know when the end will come.
No.
So I think in each encounter you are more present than you probably are in normal life. So maybe you just really value each moment a little bit more. You might put just a little bit more emphasis on the light coming in through the magnolia in his window, and I think being alive to that present moment just really kind of reminds yourself about that's all we ever have is the present moment.
And does that help you with the grief you still feel for your parents?
I think it really has. I've done training as well as an end-of-life doula, and that training has really helped as well with your really sort of, you're facing your worst fear, and actually in doing that it can really kind of bring you to a place of the grief. We live with the grief, we grow with the grief. It's not about getting over it, it's about growing around it, and about with time.
I'd say, just between you and me, it's about using it.
Yeah.
Don't let it use you, you use it.
Yeah, definitely.
What an extraordinary story, and congratulations on bringing back the Hospice Neighbours programme. If people want to find out more, Denise, from St Peter's Hospice, how can people get involved if they choose to?
I would probably say the best way is to go to the website, the St Peter's Hospice website. If you're looking to volunteer, it will give you a whole range of volunteering options that you can do.
From gardening to all the way through this?
Right the way through. You can choose which one. Hospice Neighbours is there. And because we're relaunching, we've got some amazing neighbours already, but we just really need some more volunteers.
Perfect.
Especially around South Bristol.
Congratulations to both of you for coming in on our BBC Radio Bristol Make a Difference Day. Hazel and Denise, have a lovely weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.